Hi Capricorns, and welcome to your September 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about the awesome month of September 2022. It's a really wild month that we're moving into here, especially for the Earth signs, where we have, of course, grand Earth trines coming in, Pluto being in your sign, Uranus in the North Node being in Taurus, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus being in Virgo. So big download of energy coming through for you. Life changes, adjusting to a brand new way of life, adjusting to new power, new authority, adjusting to a new level of wealth and a new level of cohesion in your life, cohesiveness. This is probably liable to be one of the best months you've had in a long time, Capricorn, but with all of this potential and all of this new way of life. I'm just getting some major downloads, Capricorn. Sorry, as I'm talking, it cut me off right as I'm trying to get into your reading. I just got this a download of this very kind of romantic, very peaceful, very secure, just kind of small town kind of foresty vibe that is coming back into your life. Is kind of a very Harvest Moon type of energy coming in for you here, where I feel like a musical kind of naturalist, herbalist kind of feeling, kind of the energy of farming or agriculture or nature, not for the money element of it, but for the animal husbandry, something about animal husbandry coming up for you all. Sorry, I know this is all over the place. I'm not feeling like doing a lot of editing this month, Capricorn, so we're just going to have some all kinds of different messages coming in. But basically that very strong kind of nature, spirit side of Capricorn is starting to come back through. So rather than that status-oriented, reputation-oriented, boss vibe Capricorn energy, I'm feeling a very kind of musical, whimsical nature god or goddess energy coming in for you all here. I love the way that this feels with the 9 of Pentacles, with the 10 of Pentacles, with the Star, with the Judgment card, with the Death card, with the 10 of Cups. This is an incredible kind of Harvest Moon, kind of spirit of nature, back to nature feeling for you all. So I think just, again, moving into these intuitive messages, it's very possible that some of you might be spending time in a more rural setting. Some of you might be introducing yourself to a smaller community. Some of you might be even doing damage control. If you're from a small town, or if you're from, this is a very specific message for some who might be watching, and it may not resonate for many. But if you're from a very small town, or if you're from a very close-knit community, you could be facing that in a different way now. So you could be facing a new kind of cohesion, or that's the word that keeps coming up, cohesive, making things cohesive, making things more durable, healing perhaps a smaller community, or healing a smaller family dynamic even. So a community within a family within a community. There's a feeling of not just being out for the self, not just being out for the self-interest, not just being out for the, and I feel it pretty hardcore for you all, Capricorn. This is really big change in worlds for you all. Not just being out for the kind of, dare I say, capitalistic self-interest, but actually starting to take a more healing, earthy vibe, where you're not so concerned about themes of money or themes of reputation or themes of power, which is also ruled by the sign of Capricorn, but you are very concerned actually about the well-being of every individual around you. This is not a political message. This is just a spiritual type of energy coming in for you that takes a bit of the internal focus and shifts it out to a cohesion focus. So that's a really incredible intuitive message that I feel for you. And moving on from that, Capricorn, I believe that also in the month of September 2022, you are very likely, you're very likely in a totally brand new way of working with resources. So you might not have the same job, you might not have the same business, you might not have the same day-to-day routine. This Virgo season, I think for you, is bringing an entire shakeup of the entire grid that you've previously experienced. So there's a new muscle memory you have to learn here. You might be doing things for the very first time here, and you might be really discovering where your natural talent was all along in the month of September, rather than like doing what you think society wants you to do, or rather than doing what you've just been doing to fulfill motions and doing that over and over and over again. There's a real kind of nobility coming through here for you that relates to perhaps music for some of you, that relates to art, that relates to spirit, okay, nature. And I love that this is coming back in the Capricorn archetype, because I think that, you know, that part of Capricorn that's a boss vibe, that is, you know, the authority, the controller, the imposer of benefits or imposer of consequences, that is receding a little bit after it became so prolific after the triple conjunction in 2020 in your sign. And we're seeing this more harmonious, more peaceful, loving energy of Capricorn come back in, and I love to see that. I think there's been a void there for quite a while, and if you are a Capricorn who's struggling with any kind of like sadness, with any type of depressive tendency, with any type of fear, anguish, turmoil, or loss aversion, okay, which is very possible because I feel you've had some type of major shakeup since the month of August, let it be known that that is a symbol for you to actually lean back into your other qualities now, and to actually connect back to your natural talents and the things that you love. So this is a month about regaining love in the life of a Capricorn, and not feeling blocked, not feeling incapable, not feeling rejected, not feeling ostracized. And if you do feel any type of ostracization or any type of persecution anywhere in your life, I think it's time for a new place, or I think it's time to face that group of people or those experiences with a totally new face. Okay, very interesting. Just random messages coming in there. Let's talk about your week-to-week Capricorns. Week number 1, the Death card rooted down by the 9 of Pentacles. Change in status. Okay, you are going to start being seen as a different type of person. Okay, that high kind of authorized feeling of nobility, I think, starts to make way for more of a spiritual kind of feeling and more of a nature-oriented approach. So observing natural weather, observing natural seasons, rather than imposing a certain doctrine or imposing a certain set of human-imposed actions, is how that's shifting up for you. Also, you could be inheriting during the first week of September. So there could be a change in your ownership. There could be a change because the 9 of Pentacles is about ownership. It's about, what leads to status. It's usually some type of ownership or some type of resource, some type of materialistic flair. So there's a transformation for some of you. Some of you might be like cashing out an investment. Some of you might be selling or buying property. Some of you might be moving house or changing even the community that you're in, moving to a new geography. And this could be kind of hard for some of you. Like I'm feeling you need to maybe listen to Scorpios, or you need to be around Scorpios. There could be a Scorpio in your life with the Death card coming up, serving as a catalyst for these changes. And some of you might be resenting those changes, and it might be good to see that it's actually really important that some of them happen, or that you, contrarily, kind of take back control over your own experience and choose which transformations you want to experience. I'm feeling like some Capricorns feel like someone else, whether it's a Scorpio or not, is like imposing changes on them, or imposing being that controlling figure, which could be hard for Capricorn because Capricorn usually is that person. So it's kind of hard for Capricorn when they're on the other end of that. There could be a feeling of being on the other end of it, but I think that it's a good result, or that it helps you to actually stand even taller. There's something about your energy getting taller in the first week, so that's interesting. Week 2, the Judgment card rooted down by the Chariot, double major arcana, meaning that this will be the biggest week of your month. But I mean, you've got major arcana in all of them except the third week. Judgment in the Chariot, that is that's a judgment, okay? Some of you have the result of the authority of another person, and it changes your life, okay? So someone with some type of authority may make a change that impacts you, okay? Also, some of you are getting like a new car or having a new means of transportation come into your life, and that could be symbolic or physical. So the autonomous decision-making of another person leading to a very physical change for you. This could be like new buildings going up around your house or around your apartment or something, something that's out of your control but changes your life and changes your surroundings. Also, this could be like weather. Okay, so weather could lead to a change in your property or something, like if a tornado comes through, or if even if like any type of weather comes through, that could have an impact on like the structures in your life. I also see that happening for a lot of Capricorns. But through that, you also have a big change of mind. You're changing your mind in the second week of September about something. Week number 3, you have the 10 of Cups rooted down by the 2 of Swords. Okay, family boundaries are coming up in the 3rd week. As you have such a change in resource, perhaps such a change in heart as well about which side of Capricorn energy you're fronting, that changes your family dynamics, okay? Also, I think that some of you feel as if your family doesn't have your best interest at heart. I think that some of you might feel as if your family perhaps envies you or is jealous. And I would just not get too attached to those types of ideas. But if you are feeling that, or if you are like seeing that and you have like total proof that that's going on, I wouldn't, because again, thinking of like law of attraction and stuff, you don't want to get too stuck in those mindsets, because then it can like start to, replicate itself. Because of how much you think about it, or you can start to see it in places where it didn't have to be seen. Doesn't mean it's not there, but it didn't have to be seen there. I would take any type of hostility from family, or even inherited family, close friends, close acquaintances, any hostility in that vicinity, I would take that as a confirmation of how maybe self-imposing you've been. And that's not a bad thing. But again, we kind of see this more macro shift for Capricorn into this more like natural orientation, or this more kind of, always friendly and always soft connection. I hope I'm describing this right, where it's like you're not so imposing, but you become more like soft, or more, I don't want to say acquiescing, because it's not about acquiescing to other people, but there's a softness I feel that Capricorn can really benefit from right now, rather than just reminding everybody how much control and power they have all the time. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm not saying that Capricorns are doing that, but I think that that would be very harsh to happen right now, because people might feel very intimidated, and that could lead to like weird karmic ripples. So just really watch out for any type of intimidation, whether you realize it's happening or not, and try to really soften that, okay? Because I also feel that some of you are really walled off, or that you just have like automatic boundaries going up all over the place too. And the universe is wanting to provide you with more love and more harmony, okay? Week 4, the 10 of Pentacles rooted down by the star. That's beautiful. Incredible benevolence, incredible abundance, incredible outcomes. Some of you are getting a major pay rise here. Some of you are becoming very wealthy here. Some of you are shining in your career, and the star and the 10 of Pentacles is one of the best combinations, because that says that you can vulnerably, authentically, healthily actually have that feeling of wealth and well-being. 10 of Pentacles can be very difficult, because sometimes people will do whatever it takes to get there, or they'll really sacrifice a lot to have that feeling of wealth and well-being. But when it comes up with the star, it says that it's like natural, it's easy, and it's right. So that's what you're being called towards, is a more natural feeling of wealth and abundance, rather than such a effort-based or self-imposing version of abundance. Things should start to get easier for you by the end of the month. What can you do to make your feeling of wealth and abundance easier and healthier? Also more transparent and more you, okay? There's a feeling of the career or the job or the motions of a Capricorn that lead to abundance being very hard, very effortful, very grating. And that's changing this month. That's transforming to a more natural flowing abundance, almost like a river flowing, right? Like that could be your abundance, rather than like starting your own river or trying to falsely divert water into different directions, and how hard and how demanding it is to do that when you never had to. When you could have just changed your own proximity or changed your own location to be in the natural flow. So let's talk more about that in your extended Capricorn. So we'll talk about getting towards the natural flow, what that means for you and how you can do that. And we'll also talk about, I want to get clarification on the Chariot and the Death card as well to understand more about this change, because there's a big change coming in. I'll get a central theme and 2 supporting themes, and we will discuss it more in depth. Come check out the Patreon page, Capricorns. It's a great service. You get all of the extended readings, all of the weekly T-chats as well. They're only available over there for the 1 membership. It's very reasonable, and it's a great way to help this channel be possible. So I'll link that below and in the center of the screen now. Have a great month. I'll talk to you all soon. Let's do this extended. Bye.